Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks again so much for tuning in. I'm Simmer Chase. Today's episode number 28 of our speed builds. Yes, 28. I am so stoked to show you this one. So I'm actually in the pool right now. Yes. And you know what this is? Right over here. It's a grotto. Yes, I built my first grotto. So this is part of the pool. It basically like a grotto is like a cave basically sort of thing, or like some sort of outdoor space that's super cool and totally rad. So I have really wanted to build one of these for a while, and I kind of wanted to spark everyone's creativity and imagination to kind of, build something like this. So I can't wait to show you guys how it turns out. We actually have a full tree house. Yes. What's above me, I think you're really gonna love. It's a treehouse mansion. Yes. So it's got 5 bedrooms. It's got 7 bathrooms. It's got the biggest kitchen I've ever built. I keep outdoing myself on these kitchens. I'm telling you. This one has an eat-in area. It has a formal dining area. It has a bar. It has a humongous island the size of Australia, honestly, for a kitchen. Yep, that's this one. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as I do all the heavy lifting and we build this treehouse mansion. Yes, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe in the links below. And as always, stay proud. Go out and do something magical. And let's go ahead and dive in now. I'm so stoked for you guys to see this treehouse come alive. So right now I'm just getting together the basics where, chunking out the whole floor plan, getting everything kind of stacked together. So what I kind of did at first was just create a bottom cake layer, and then I deleted that out and then just kept adding onto it. Now I could, make it unrealistic. Obviously it's not really realistic anyway, but I did do pillars. So there's 4 pillars. One on each corner of the house. And I did that just because I saw a lot of houses on stilts, especially after like the hurricanes and stuff, they go in and they build these houses like way up. So I thought it would have a double purpose. It's a tree house, but it also, in case you have flooding or something kind of crazy like that, this is totally 100% flood proofed. So yes. Now I'm just kind of getting together the decks. There are many. So we have decks on the first floor. Well, livable floor. The second floor. We have decks on the top floor. We have the second and the third. So you're pretty much going to be able to really get a lot of use out of this house, I think. And I really enjoyed putting it together a lot. It actually was funny because it took a lot of time to build that you're not necessarily going to notice. Now you may see like a few things here and there drop out, or not all of a sudden appear and then go away as usual kind of in my videos, but I really like to be able to edit down and more creatively edit my videos. So, and then kind of more focus on the features I do keep and the things that I do like or do want to have in the final version. So you're just kind of seeing things pop in here and there. But when I did this, I really thought the reclaimed stuff, things that you could find locally, things that you could, kind of have in Solani. So I really wanted to kind of really bring that home to this house. So there's just a lot of detail I hope you guys enjoy and appreciate. It kind of took me, it ended up taking like 12 hours of build time, 12 hours of build time. And then I chopped down, I did a ton of cutting over like the last couple days and chunked out like 4 hours. It's amazing the amount of time that you spend swiveling the camera or picking things. So I deleted out a lot of that footage too, so that it's not giving you tons of whiplash, because there is a lot of areas and little nooks and crannies and crevices in this house and on the lot that would kind of probably make you a little seasick or a little woozy if you watch too much of this. So I cut all that out so that we don't have that sort of mess with this one. And I, kind of going forward, like I definitely am really glad to do that as well, because it's just kind of really flexes my muscles on the like my editing capabilities. So it's just really fun to be able to kind of have that ability to have, Photoshop and Adobe Premiere, and just throw it in there and, cut away and that kind of stuff. So now you're kind of seeing the grotto come together. And if you notice, I'm just piling on a ton of rocks. And I actually started out with the caves from Star Wars to kind of get me going. And then they started protruding a little bit in ways that I didn't like. And I wanted to have the grotto to be just a little bit deeper and taller than what it was allowing me to do. So I did end up like getting rid of a couple of those and just popping in more rocks around it. But I just was kind of going for that general form and size. So now you're kind of seeing like the grotto all fill in now. And then sometimes I like saw objects, as I usually do. I'll see objects that I'm like, oh, I'm going to use that. Not here and not right now, but I'm just going to pop it here because that's convenient. So I don't forget where it's at, or like to use it later. So that's kind of like one of these moments here. And then of course you're seeing like the last of the rocks. And as I had mentioned before, like literally I was having to swivel the camera a bunch to make sure that my grotto was covered. The whole cave was completely covered in rocks, and there wasn't a lot of holes or visible like from the outside, because in real life you wouldn't have that. So I like went in a few times and like did a deep dive within the grotto, and then I would pop out and then spin the camera again. So it was a lot all at once, that I'm really glad that I was able to cut out of the video. So now you're just kind of seeing all the lighting, and I did really go over the top with the lighting for the pool because I really love the lots that I make at night as well. And I hope you guys get to enjoy that as well, because it's just really fun to kind of have it useful all day and night, and just to have something really pretty to look at. So I'm gonna definitely make sure to keep going on that. And then actually my next builds, I'm gonna be working on my next set of 5 are actually gonna be tiny, micro, and small, because I've kind of proved in the last several builds I've done that, hey, I can do big buildings, I can do mansions, I can do all that. So I want to prove to you guys and kind of show that I can do the tiny, I can do the small, and I can kind of set myself in some parameters and kind of challenge myself a little bit to build smaller but think bigger. So you're gonna see a lot more of that coming from me soon as well. I can't wait to get those out. So we're gonna do like a lot of like really fun, interesting builds that I don't think, again, I haven't really seen on the gallery a lot. So now you're kind of seeing the landscaping to come together, and I really like to be able to create a lot of different sort of areas that you can socialize, gather, bring your Sims together, and party, or relax, or kind of whatever. I'm kind of gearing that specific little like section. And then with this house, I also wanted to make it like, in the event, knock on wood, something were to happen, you would have totally self-sustaining things. So it's off the grid. There's plenty to power the whole mansion. There is a ton of like space for like the solar panels, if you need some more solar panels and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of room on the roof to even add more. But I thought that it would make sense to really kind of put them where the sun hits it, obviously, and not to put them under the trees. I don't know if that really impacts it or not, but in like real life, obviously it does. So I only put like so many. And then another thing you guys may realize about me, but I really like to pile things on top of each other to kind of create a new object. So on this one, you're gonna see a couple cool things. I'm gonna make ceiling fans with lights, and you're gonna see me do a lot of potted plants with the vases we have, plus a mixture of different flowers that we have, because I just really wanted to kind of create it where it felt more unique and original. And then I was kind of giving you guys something that was just for you guys, from me. So, I just kept kind of thinking about different arrangements and things, and the different flowers that we have and how you could kind of pop them together, just kind of give you guys a little bit more of an idea, of things. So all you have to do is hit the type in the bb.move objects on cheat. After, of course, you hit the Control Shift and C for PC users. So you just come in and do that. And then again, I was also kind of utilizing like our little potted, like some of the other little arrangements of potted plants, but then I kind of shrunk them down a little bit to fit them in that cute little, side table. And then there again, there's more like potted plants, because like when I think of like Solani, or I think of like the beach and stuff, I think about like wicker furniture, I think of wood furniture, and I think of lots of pottery with potted plants in it. And to me, like just having a pot, okay, but like it's not really that exciting. And it's like just adds that extra wow and pop when you have all that color and texture from all those flowers. So we're kind of going through and getting all the exterior lighting, and I did, like I have been doing, but I did a ton of exterior lighting. So you're seeing like pole lights go in, you're seeing lights go on like all the railings, and you're seeing it just kind of all over. There's just lighting every little area I could pop lighting in, I kind of did. And that was like one of my favorite things, but like really with this too, was to do that. And then of course now the kitchen, yes. So now you're seeing the biggest kitchen I've built so far on my channel come together. So this one, it's really neat, and I was just really stoked to be able to kind of have enough space with this house, because I just kind of started throwing squares together initially and didn't really have like an actual like floor plan in mind of like how I was gonna make it all fit and work. I just knew that I wanted to take like the largest chunk that I had made and turn it into a kitchen. So that's pretty much what happened here. So there's just a ton of like room, and see I just created more room for it. So and then I was also like not quite sure about which table I wanted to use, so I did pop that down there for a bit. And this is very pet friendly. There's all the amenities for cats and dogs. Like the basics, like your food bowl, water bowl, scratch thing, stuff like that. And I mean, if you guys wanted, you could definitely add a lot of the, like take out one of the bars or something, or the dance floor that's about ready to go in, and put some of the dog amenity stuff, like the big like dog training stuff if you wanted. So it just kind of gives you an option. And then I also showed you some options here with some of the chairs, because I could have cut that out, but I'm like, no, I want to leave that, because I was waffling so hard on like what to make. Like I seriously sat there for like a couple minutes, like trying to decide what color I wanted to make those dining chairs in the Eden dining room, or Eden dining area, because I was like, oh, see, this would be really fun to like, have and do, but then I can make it light, or do I want it bright? So, there's like that cream color, there's those bright, funky purple ones. And I ended up going with the like seafoam green, because that's kind of sort of the scheme of this house, especially for this first layer and first floor of living space, is more of like that seafoam color and like real beachy tones, very bright as much as I could possibly be. And I just wanted to have like, I feel like it makes it feel a lot bigger when you have tons of places to host people and to set and chill. So, we're kind of having that here. And then, I have 3 dogs. So I immediately thought, oh, I want to do 3. And they're all boys, of course. But I have one that would definitely take the pink any day. So I went with that. And then when I got kind of up through this upstairs, I was like, I really like, because I kind of write down a list of amenities or things I really want to kind of feature in the house. And that was like one of them was the horseshoe thing, and I was like, oh, I haven't put that in yet. So I did, and I really like where I could kind of fit it. And then just like the framed art and stuff, I wasn't quite sure 100% on everything, but I did know the direction that I wanted to go with this area here. It's sort of like the main living space, as you're gonna see it come together, and it's just really long, and it goes the whole way, length and width of the property. So it goes all the way down, so that you would get really good beach views if this was in real life, or like from your Sims in first person mode. And then I really wanted to do, again, sort of with that beachy vibe, I did the exposed beams and that kind of stuff too, because I just really wanted to make sure that it had like that really cool, fun flair. And Then again, like these like fun little like speakers and just like every little detail I could think about tossing in that would give it that extra beachy vibe, but more like a modern beachy vibe, and kind of give it that reclaimed feel too, where it's like chic and modern, clean, all of that. So now actually this room that's coming together now is sort of like a little shop room. I wanted to do something where you could do, like there's a TV room, you know, like a viewing screening room. And then you've got this area here where it's like, just sort of like to do all your crafting stuff. And you have to be careful because if you don't properly like section off your workbench and stuff, your Sims neighbors will start complaining about the fumes coming from your house. So I kind of figured out that if you put it in a room and don't stick it outside and like, or like make a garage or something like that, put it in, then you're better off. But I went ahead and did it this way with this sort of design of just kind of tucking it there into the side and back and kind of behind the living space so you can kind of get over there. And then we have like our little first floor bathroom and that area. And the neat thing is there's like stairs connecting, and all the rooms like connect, but then there's stairs outside going to each level. And then there's also like one central staircase that you see there, that is servicing the inside in case it's raining, that kind of thing. And then now I'm just kind of bringing together the last of the pieces in this little like living area, that kind of stuff. I just really, really love these, like I barely ever use curtains, shame on me, right? But I just always kind of end up missing them or forgetting like to think about them. And so I finally did a little bit and put them in this one, but only in that room, because I really just, I don't want to take away too much from the other areas. And if they were actually functional to where you could open them or close them, I would feel happier about using them, but they don't have a lot of function, you know? It just like with the shoe rack, I'm going to be using the shoe rack a lot more and building bigger, massive closets. Like this house has like 5-6 closets in it, because I actually use the pillars as closets. So that's kind of the advantage here of why I created the pillars, because I really wanted to like make sure that there was plenty of storage, because if you're building a mansion, you're going to expect plenty of storage space. So, you know, you really have that in this place here. And I just kind of went through and popped in, you know, use those things and popped in the closets. So now you're kind of seeing more seating arrangements come in, I know, but I just really enjoyed like doing different seating arrangements and configurations and like styling them differently based on the room. And then now I'm just kind of going in between too. So we have our little bubble blower, and then we have like just some like clutter, things like that going into the kitchen as well. Random miscellaneous stuff, you know, like you got to have some books up there. Now it is kind of tricky and complicated to get those up there, so you have to make sure to move your counter first. If you like have already put your counters in, you have to move that if you're going to put something on a shelf that isn't designed to have something. And then you have to hold down your Alt key to place it, and then you have to do the 9 key to be able to raise it, or 0 key to lower it. So it's just a lot to kind of remember in steps. So I kind of cut out some of that because I was having a hassle a little bit of it. So I ended up just kind of like doing the last little end of it where you're seeing it kind of tuck in a little and, you know, conveniently fit, but it really isn't that easy. But definitely I need practice at it, but I just feel like it's also sort of like a pitfall a little bit of the game, but it's okay because, like, you know, it's The Sims and we just have to, you know, roll with the punches sometimes. So I also, like, you figured out that if you do not paint your closets, The Sims will feel like the house is in poor taste. Even if it's like in this instance, over 600,000 simoleons. Yeah, they will still hate your house. So you gotta do that. And you gotta make sure that the closet has lighting in it, or again, they will hate your house. So now I'm just coming together with the last, I really love, this was my favorite room to do for artwork in this house and kind of the style that I did, because I really wanted to have like a modern lodge feel. So I gave it that like university wallpaper, and then I brought in some of those paintings and things from, I think, I don't know, it might be from Laundry Pack or Knitting. I'm not even sure anymore. Some of those packs have like merged together on me, but I literally, I have all of them at my disposal. So I've just been using like kind of everything from every pack. And, I apologize if that bothers folks, but I really want to make sure that it's the most accessible and usable for everybody. So, if it doesn't, if it features stuff a pack that you don't have, I'm sorry, but it's more for me just like to be able to kind of really show you what's truly possible with The Sims. And hopefully to, kind of spark some creativity. Maybe, when they run a sale, then you go get it, because like it really is worth having, I think, most all of them, because I've been able to find like a debug objects, to plants or lamps or anything, even from the My First Stuff pet pack. And even that, I've been able to like really find a lot of like neat little gems, especially with like all the different plants, and just I really love the color scheme, which you're kind of seeing pop in here with some of those furniture pieces, because the My First Stuff pack and the Laundry Day and then the Nifty Knitting packs, all three of those are very, very similar design and style and color textures, but they're slightly off. So it's just enough to where you can like mix and match and blend though, which is really cool in my eyes. And so now I'm just kind of coming together, getting this bedroom. In a minute, you're gonna see lighting happen. I should have probably popped the lighting in first, but generally I like to put the lighting around my furniture and kind of put my things in first and then put the lighting in after. So then I'm not like obstructing that kind of thing, because like I went with the 4 posters, so then I would have had to move a lamp or move, a pendant light if it's like in the way. So that way it just kind of makes it a little easier to plan your lighting out when the furniture's already there, which is opposite of how it would work in real life typically. So it's kind of funny that, we can do it that way, but I do. And so with this one, I just wanted to, it's part of like, I can't wait to show you. In the last room we put together, it's going to be the master suite. So this is just kind of like maybe like teenager rooms, kid room, that kind of theme. Because, or even grandma's room or your nanny, whoever, because there's actually other bedrooms that you're going to see kind of pop in here in a bit, that I really wanted to make sure were just like huge and big and nice. So we have 2 basic, like, decent bedrooms on this level. And then on the upper level, we have 2 more bedrooms. We have, like, a kid's bedroom, and then we have like a young adult room, or, even a teen room, something like that. And then up there on the top level is where your master suite is. And I can't wait for you to see it. It even has the hot tub, like, inside hot tub. So it's really cool, like, to be able to just have the ability to pop together like all of these things. So in a minute, like you just saw me pop in the ceiling fans, and now the lighting for the ceiling fans is going in as well. So I did a couple different things here. I actually used the start pendant lights, those big stars, and then I also used the Discover University, I'm thinking. I used that, and maybe Island Living. There's a couple packs that I used, of course, but of lights, those really fun, like just globes. It may even be from Eco Harbor now that I'm thinking about it, and the Eco Lifestyle pack, which is kind of like the general theme for this level too. And then you're coming together and seeing this, everything kind of come together with the now 3rd floor. And this one was really fun because it was just like the kids' bedroom. I designed it in purple this time and pink, which was a little bit of fun and unique color, and something that I've not been able to utilize a lot. Just I end up always preferring blue or green or something like that, my favorite colors. But in this instance, I was like, ooh, I want to do like a fun pink room. like make it real fun. So now you're kind of seeing all the pieces come together for like that area, and I just really wanted it to have a lot of use because it is like really skinny and not really wide, so that's kind of what made me really think about the kids' room. But they still do have access to the balcony, but it doesn't really go anywhere, because I thought like you wouldn't really want to give kids like just willy-nilly access to wherever. And then right outside of their room is actually where like the toys and the fun chest and all that kind of fun stuff is as well. And then I was thinking like maybe the other one could be their like, you know, older sibling as well. And then I kind of wanted to, because there's just so many views, I really was thinking about positioning this furniture and decided that I was going to do it at an angle for the master suite, and then this like what I'm calling like guest suite, because you know if you make it too nice they'll never leave, but at the same point maybe you don't want them to. So I kind of really created a lot of amenities like packed into this room and things, or it could be like your kid coming home from college, that kind of thing. So I, you know, put the basket there with the towels and all that kind of stuff too. And then I was just kind of playing around with some of the lighting options as you saw there on what you could combine with them. And that's definitely, any of those ideas, definitely feel free. And a lot of those were like the Star Wars, because those actually paired really well with it. So this upper level is set up into like two different, oh yes, and then I'm circling here to the laundry room, and then we'll go back up to the upstairs and you'll get to see like what I'm talking about. But it's actually, I really enjoyed being able to kind of have space to put all these plants, because when I thought of like a tree house, of course you're gonna have plants. It's a tree house, and the trees actually kind of coming into the house a little bit. So I did like, as you may have seen like before, but it's really funny, like I ended up going through and just kind of chunking it out a little bit, the house a little bit more, so it wasn't protruding into the house in awkward, weird, fake ways, so that like, you know, it was coming through the window or that kind of thing, you know, and not just totally like popping through a wall or something weird. So I kind of changed, you know, the size of some of the rooms there towards the beginning, and just, you know, pulled them in, squeezed them around and that kind of thing. And I was actually thinking about like, ooh, I want to use this cat lamp. No, I don't. So I ended up like, because I wanted to pot some flowers in these pots, but I just wasn't sure what I really wanted with them. So I ended up going that way with doing like the fun littler plants. And now you're kind of getting the little office area and like hangout space. I thought this would be the smart area to like do your finances or like, you know, like homework, that kind of stuff. So we're coming together on the last of the bar area here, and then kind of the fun area to, you know, go and do whatever you want, you know, host a party. There's the keg, there's like all kinds of funky like things, like you can actually look down through and see the people underneath you that are in the living area, which I really enjoyed too. And kind of having that space of and room. So you have that. And then now I'm just coming together for like this last little bathroom here on the side, for your guests, that kind of thing. And then of course now we're doing our fitness area, which I really thought would make sense to have. And I just thought, well, why not throw some bookshelves in there? Like, what else am I really gonna put? I could have did some mirrors and more seating and stuff, but I'm like, there's so many of those that I wanted to do just some like, you know, shelves, little area to hang out, read a book, read a cookbook even, and then, you know, work out in front of the fireplace. So I thought that might be a fun little element and something you may not always see. Especially in like real life, I've seen like some celebrity homes that have those like really fancy like fitness areas that are like giant, like as big as like any normal house. And like I'm just like, whoa, holy smokes, like this would be smart. And then like off one of the bedrooms, I did this fun little like yoga, you know, like fitness wellness area as well for the outside. And then more of these Star Wars lamps. I really love them. I think that they're the element I really needed and that we really needed in the game that we hadn't had yet, of like lanterns and things like that, because we only have a couple options before, but now we just have so many more lantern style and more like rubbed bronze looking or aged looking, antique looking lights, which I just really enjoy. And then there's plenty of areas to like socialize, of course, paint, play chess even, you know, like go crazy with that. So now we're coming together with this is now the master bathroom and then the master bedroom. So the master bedroom is almost like the same size as the master bedroom. The bedroom and bathroom are basically the same master. Because I just wanted so much room. So there's like the little area for shoes tucked in, so that when we're able to change our shoes or take our shoes off, they go there. And then you're gonna have your closet, because like that makes sense too, right? It's a mansion. So we have just a lot of really fun little elements that I really wanted to make sure that you guys had in here without having to spend any effort or time. And doing it yourself, I did it, so we got it. And now I'm actually just going through getting the last little elements together of my design that I kind of put together with this. And I just wanted to have so much organizing, and like I have like a little terrace off my bathroom here in real life, and like my husband and I, we always like imagine about maybe like, you know, going out to our terrace and having coffee. And so I really want to do that French press in there, because I thought it'd be really fun to be able to have some coffee in the hot tub. So now we're doing a spin around, the final spin around of the lot and of the house and the detail of it. So you can just kind of get to see like the whole exterior a little bit, what it looks like during the day, the night, and all of that. Because in the gallery, it doesn't do enough justice for the builds, especially not at night. And if you were to like post a photo at night up of your lot, it's probably gonna have less downloads. And it's sad but true, because unless it's like completely lit up, which is why I really like focus heavy on the lighting, because otherwise people just seem to pass by it because it looks dark or not enough, you know. So that's why I really focus heavily on that now, and really like to show you guys what it looks like between the different phases, so you can get a good grasp of like what it looks like. So now we're inside the grotto, and before we're looking around the grotto and in it. And so now we're just kind of going through the pool, getting all that sort of stuff peeked at and what you can see here on that. And then we're going to zoom up and around a little bit more, so you can kind of just get an idea and sense of what it actually looks like at all the different levels, from the distance, that kind of thing. And then it spins around, and then I kind of wanted to phase it out and do like a little bit slower and then faster, so you're kind of seeing it like kind of go in interval speeds. So now we're coming through, and this is the first level, the kitchen, of course. And then we've got like the dining area back here, and then we're gonna kind of peek around into the like gaming, like social area with the TV and viewing area. And then we have our music room here. And then, so there's the music room and like the area you could record, that kind of stuff. And then this back here is just like your lounge area as well. So this would be really good for your Sims that are like recording artists, singers as well, actresses, actors, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, with a lot of bigger families they tend to have. And then we also have like all the pet stuff, you know, and the kids stuff. And then here's just one of the other extra bedrooms that I did. And no, you won't ever find like any two of my bedrooms the same. Like I always do things differently and go with different schemes and patterns and textures for the most part. Like I don't really have a favorite. It's more about how it all comes together that makes it my favorite. So it's not really one object or another that's really my favorite as much, because I've been asked that, like, what's your favorite thing to do or use? And it's like, I don't necessarily have one. It's more about how I arrange it and end up using it in conjunction with other things. So now we're just looking at the top deck, the top level. Here's the master bedroom and bathroom. Yes. Love it. I really enjoyed that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. Stay proud and go out and do something magical. Thank you.